Oh, I believe in the power of kindness. Yes, I believe in the power of love. Power of love. Oh, I believe in the power of kindness. Yes, I believe in the power of love. We don't know what's coming. We can help shape what's ahead. With kindness as our currency, the Commonwealth is in our hands. So give a little, oh, give a lot, don't stop. A helping hand makes the world go round. There's more than enough. Oh, I believe in the power of kindness. Yes, I believe in the power of love. Power of love. Oh, I believe in the power of kindness. Yes, I believe in the power of love. Listen up now, people. Keep your ear to the ground. We are the river flowing, generosity abounds. So give a little, oh, give a lot, don't stop. A helping hand makes the world go round. There's more than enough. Oh, I believe in the power of kindness. Yes, I believe in the power of love. Power of love. Oh, I believe in the power of kindness. Yes, I believe in the power of love. The honeybee serves sweetness only to help the world bloom, bringing love to the flower and the flower to the fruit. We could learn a thing or two. So give a little, oh, give a lot, don't stop. A helping hand makes the world go around. There's more than enough. Oh, I believe in the power of kindness. Yes, I believe in the power of love. Power of love. Oh, I believe in the power of kindness. Yes, I believe in the power of love. We don't know what's coming. We can help shape what's ahead. With kindness as our currency, the Commonwealth is in our hands. So give a little, oh, give a lot, don't stop. A helping hand makes the world go round. There's more than enough. Oh, I believe in the power of kindness. Yes, I believe in the power of love. Power of love. Oh, I believe in the power of kindness. Yes, I believe in the power of love. Oh, I believe in the power of kindness. Yes, I believe in the power of love. Power of love. Oh, I believe in the power of kindness. Yes, I believe in the power of
I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of the Father. I am one with God. Ave Maria, Kyrie eleison. I am one with the heart of the Mother. I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of the Father. I am one with God. Ave Maria, Kyrie eleison. I am one with the heart of the Mother. I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of the Father. I am one with God.
Y'all remember Armand and Angelina came? That's one of their songs. Yes.
I asked him before he left, I said, you got any spare copies of some of your stuff? He said, he pulled the Heart of the Mother and that one out, one other one. So, if you don't ask, you don't receive, right?
That's right.
So, I had to ask. Ain't nobody gonna bum my heart. Ain't nobody gonna bleed me dry. Love is everywhere. Ain't nobody gonna take me down. Ain't nobody gonna steal my crown. Love is everywhere. Everybody gonna hear my song. Ain't nobody gonna prove me wrong. Love is everywhere. You can taste it in the water of a fast-flowing stream. Smell it in the forest where the rains have been. There's never been a day when the sun don't shine. Love is everywhere. Ain't nobody gonna bend my will. Can't stand still or stop until love is everywhere. Ain't nobody gonna stop this train. The train's slick back and will remain. Love is everywhere. Ain't nobody gonna make me high. You can't kill what I feel inside. Love is everywhere. You can hear it in the sound of the love we make. See it in the colors of a new day break. Everything is nuts just the way I feel. Love is everywhere. Is everywhere. Love is everywhere. You can taste it. You can feel it. You can smell it. All right. Love is everywhere. Love is everywhere. You can taste it in the water of a fast-flowing stream. Smell it in the forest where the rains have been. There's never been a day when the sun don't shine. Love is everywhere. everywhere. Love is everywhere. Love is everywhere. Love is everywhere.
Thank you, and welcome to Unity Spiritual Center of Gulfport, Mississippi. It's nice to see everybody here. If you'll just take a few moments to silence your phone, then we won't have any interruptions in this great service this morning. And please, let's all stand for our opening song, Be Peace Expressing in the World.
Let's stand together. Let's make a new day. Let's lift up each other and find a new way. Tomorrow's upon us. The future is here. Let's love one another and release all our fears and be peace expressing in the world. Be the joy and the light of the Spirit expressing in the world. Expressing in the world. Be the hope and the heart of the Spirit expressing in the world. Make a commitment. Open your heart. Don't stand there in judgment and keep love apart. God lights the way now. Our pathway is clear. Loving each other eliminates fear and be peace expressing in the world. Be the joy and the light of the Spirit expressing in the world. And be love expressing in the world. Be the hope and the heart of the Spirit expressing in the world. Be the hope and the heart of the Spirit expressing in the world.
Thank you. Let us pray. We open our hearts and our minds to receive divine inspiration this morning at this very special place and time. May we allow Spirit to inform us of what is ours to release and what is ours to embrace. We open up, we release, and we receive as Spirit moves in, around, and through us. We are grateful for this glorious morning and all those who are serving today of their gifts and talents. May we each be blessed in a special way. Amen.
Amen.
Again, welcome to Unity of Gulfport. Do we have any first-time visitors? Yes? Would you like to introduce yourselves?
I'm Carol.
Carol? Yes. Well, welcome. Thank you. All right. And your companion?
I'm David. I'm first time here, but I've been Unity all over.
All over the place. Good.
Okay.
Welcome, David and Carol. If you've not received, oh, is there somebody else? Oh, hello. I'm sorry. It wasn't intentional. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
I'm Michael.
Michael? Jean. Okay.
I'm very familiar with Unity.
All right.
This is our first time.
Okay. Welcome, Michael and Jean. Is there anybody else that I'm missing? No? Okay. We're grateful you all came. We have a visitor's packet. If you've not received one, someone will find one away to you. You can fill out the information card and we'll keep you on our mailing list. And we have a weekly newsletter and lots of exciting things happening here each week. So we're glad you came today. Thank you. And we come together to affirm and celebrate our unity, our oneness with each other and the source of all that is. In that spirit of unity, let us pause to enfold in light and love all people in our community and in our world. The candle of unity signifies the light within each of us and our connection to the source of all that is, and so it is. And there's our affirmation of faith. I have faith that God is my instant, constant, and abundant supply. I have faith that God provides grace when to human sense there is no way. I have faith that God is guiding me in all ways. My health, happiness, and success are assured. And now for our next song, Blessing to the World.
You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of Spirit on earth.
Thank you. And now Rick Williams will read the daily word.
That's true. My father's name was William. He was a very creative man, and his father's name was William. We do not come from a creative line of people. They could spell the two words, William and son. All right, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Today's word is wholeness. As a divine being, I am whole. I know I am whole, wondrously made, and a unique expression of the divine. But I cannot truly know wholeness if I become distracted by an experience of illness or thoughts of lack or limitations. I do not resist limiting thoughts. Instead, I let the light of the divine understanding dissolve the darkness of spiritual ignorance. If I do an editorial here, I love that part. It's almost like training in, self-defense training. Use the attacker's energy against it. Go with the flow. I just love that part. Remembering that divine life lives as me, I affirm my body's wholeness. Even if I am experiencing illness, growing awareness of the limitless flow of divine ideas reminds me I have all I need to experience a joyous and abundant life. As I say yes again and again to my true spiritual nature, my life becomes an ever-unfolding demonstration of wholeness. If then your whole body is full of light, with no part in darkness, it will be as full of light as when a lamp gives you light with its rays. Luke 11:36.
Thank you, Rick. So our announcements are on the slide overhead and found on the back of the bulletin. Everyone's invited to Fellowship Hall after service. We've got some sustenance and conversation. Also, I wanted to, a couple of things here extra beyond what you're reading there. There's a sign-up sheet on the table for T-shirts. The T-shirts say Unity Spiritual Center of Gulfport. They are white with red and teal letters. They are $15, and they will need to be signed up for by the end of August. See Nay for more information. Nay is the lady that takes care of our children. So she'll be back into the hall here after our speaker. Also, I wanted to remind you we're having a get-together at the end of the month. It's a celebration for our dear Brenda, who will be leaving us at the end of the month. So we want you to come and help send her off in a big, warm, southern Mississippi Unity style. The bulletin, the whiteboard out in the hall, please put it's a potluck, so please put what you might want to bring. And our own Dr. Alice Graham is giving a conference, Journeys in Solitude. And you can join her for our morning of contemplative silence. This will be time to practice being with yourself in ways that are restorative and soothing. Through the silence, one can recover pathways to self-care, self-compassion that have been disrupted by stresses of living in a chaotic world. Does anybody know about that? Didn't think so. That's going to be this coming Saturday, August the 24th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And there's a number to call here. I believe there's also a flyer out in the foyer, so you can refer to that flyer. And now Reverend Judy will come to the stage, and we'll get on with the service.
Thank you, Joan. She and I look like we wore the same uniform this morning. Good job. Nice white blouse. We had a great discussion group this morning at 9:15, and we were talking about the power of intention and how to ignite that with your passion and then your actions. And so we had a very lively discussion, didn't we? It was great. We talked a lot, learned a lot from each other. And just to give you a little summary of what we talked about intention, and we each have the ability to set our intention. We can set it every day. We can set it once a month. We can set it 10 times a day if we want. And what I find for myself, especially at this stage in my life, is that I choose to ask Spirit, God, whatever the name, source is, to just lead me to know how I can serve the highest and the best. So that's a pretty simple intention, isn't it? It's one that's always with me, and I know that now that's what I want to do. I want to serve the highest, whatever that is. And we keep our intention here at this spiritual center for that as well. We mentioned that we don't have any gimmicks, any cute gotchas that come in with all these marketing ploys that used to be, and especially in the last century, they were so unethical. It didn't matter how they got you in. The thing was to just have a marketing tool that would get somebody in. And then after they paid their money, whoever it was didn't care, did they? If getting the money was the main thing. But consciousness has changed, folks. So have our ethics. The ethics of the laws of ethics have always been the same, the principles. It's just that we weren't always taught to adhere to those. And anything that's done that would hurt another, you don't want to do that. I think Jesus said something like that, didn't he? Do unto others as you would want others to do unto you, something like that. And we carry that into the business world too. I used to teach business ethics, and then I taught ministerial ethics, and I said in each of those times that there's no difference. Ethics is ethics, honey. It's either right or it's wrong. And we don't need any guidelines, any different guidelines for business or marketing than we need for our own personal lives. If it can harm another, then we wouldn't want to do it, would we? So anyway, when you come here, you can know that you've come to a place where our only intention is to serve the highest good. And we know that we do that by inviting people in. We share, and I'm going to get to that in just a moment, and what we're doing with our summer series and why we're doing it. But we come to share, to have fellowship, and to know that there are others on the same path in a similar way that you are. And we can always learn from each other. And it's just good to know that you're aligned with others that are of similar interest and instincts. But back to intentions. How do you keep your intentions pure? Well, you keep your intentions pure for wanting the highest and the best with whatever it is that you're doing. And if you have a personal goal, and an intention, set that intention and claim that I am powerful. I am achieving what is mine to achieve. And then if you have specifics, put it behind that. And then follow that up with some action, folks. Don't sit home and do nothing. Then you actually have to align it with some action, doing something. And then you really want to know how to put some power behind it? You're going to ignite it with a little bit of passion coming right here from your heart.
And I know about this because I can say I have a heart that is on fire for God. And I know that. And I claim it. And I share it. And I'm just saying that passion comes from right here. So if you've got a goal, you've got an intention, it's for good, it's not to harm someone else, keep those intentions pure now. You're not doing this so that someone else will fall by the wayside. You're doing this because it's for the good of mankind, you and mankind. And then ignite it with that fire that comes only from the heart, the passion. And that's how you put a little bit of fire behind your intentions. So this morning, before we start our program, I would like to offer a prayer. I know there are many needs out there for healing, for a bit of peace, divine order, prosperity. Whatever the need, we just pray right now and we put these needs out there and shine a light right on them. We just say, God, we pray healing for every person, their family, their community, their country and their world. We pray for healing now in every way. We say thank you, thank you, thank you, God. Amen. Before I dismiss the musicians, what was that first pre-service song that you performed? What was the name of that? Oh boy, that was beautiful. Did one of you write that?
No, it's by Mom Hughes, and my sister Donna recommended it.
Okay. That was powerful, powerful. Loved it. Could you perform just a little bit of it now, or would that be asking too much? They put that, they filed that. They
really?
didn't think they would need that for weeks. I know how this goes. I know. Just a little bit for those that, yeah, just the first. For those that weren't here to hear it, would you do that for me? Okay.
Oh, I believe in the power of kindness. Yes, I believe in the power of love. Power of love. Oh, I believe in the power of kindness. Yes, I believe in the power of love. We don't know what's coming. We can help shape what's ahead. With kindness as our currency, the Commonwealth is in our hands. So give a little, oh, give a lot, don't stop. A helping hand makes the world go round. There's more than enough. Oh, I believe in the power of kindness. Yes, I believe in the power of love. Power of love. Oh, I believe in the power of kindness. Yes, I believe in the power of love.
Oh,
I believe in the power of kindness. Yes, I believe in the power of love.
I told you that was good, huh? We're going to rearrange the furniture in just a moment, some of the furniture. We've been having a summer chat series this summer. We started it last summer. We're pretty unique. I don't know of another Unity church or another church anywhere that's doing it. We just started it on our own. What we realized is that we have so many people that come here that have so much to share, and you don't get a chance to hear it. And I felt that some of these people really need to share their stories. Like last week we had David Murphy, and I think I was the only person that knew that he grew up in Israel. When he was just a child, he walked down the quiet streets of Palestine. The quiet streets of Palestine. He grew up in that. He's about my age. Grew up in that country, then went to India, did many, many, many things before coming back to this country. His parents were missionaries. And I thought it was fascinating, and I know all of you that are here knew that too. And if you didn't catch it, you can catch it on the recordings of our live streaming that we have on Sunday mornings. But we've got a treat for you this morning too. Diane Brandhorst is a really great friend. We've been friends for several years. When she started coming here, she and her husband Bob, everybody knows Bob. He's pretty much famous for, yeah. Stand up, Bob, everybody. She's going to have her time in a minute. There's Bob. If you ever get a chance to hear him perform on the bayou, you're really going to appreciate it. I'm sure we've got a recording of that here someplace too, but they add, as a couple, they add so much to our community here, and we're so privileged to have them as a part of our group here at Unity of Gulfport. So Diane, if you'd come on down, we're going to ask you some questions and find out a little bit more about your life. I guarantee. Oh, it's already on.
It's on now.
Diane came to Unity of Gulfport several years ago when her husband Bob got a job here. Was it Hancock Bank, Bob? Mm-hmm. And we were still in the other building then. It was before we had built this one. And like Christy, Diane has lost a daughter. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes. We know how painful that is, and I had to ask Diane if she was ready to talk about it, of course, and she said that she was, so we don't want to cause pain to anybody. But Diane, could you start off first and tell us a little bit about where you grew up and your early life?
Okay, chronologically
Uh-huh.
speaking. I was born in Denver, Colorado. I lived there and finished my sophomore year at South High School in Denver. And my dad, in the meantime, was a mechanical engineer, and my mom was working as a teller. My dad got a job with the Colorado State Boys Reformatory teaching mechanical engineering. So we moved to the small town of Buena Vista, Colorado. And my mom, there weren't very many banks, one or two at the time, and she was able to get a job as a teller there as well. My dad also part-time taught mechanical engineering at Buena Vista High School. So he was a teacher in my high school. And I graduated from Buena Vista High School in 1970, and then I married my high school sweetheart. And he was in the service, so he was stationed at Shepherd Air Force Base in Arizona, and we moved there. We had 2 children. They were both born at the Air Force Base. I think that's now closed. I don't even think it's there anymore. But we lived there for a while, and eventually his name was Tom. Tom and I divorced, and I ended up going back to Denver with my 2 children and with my grandmother helping me. And we lived in Denver until I met my second husband. And so when I met Bob and married him, our kids were sure that the third time was a charm, because he was also married twice before.
Well, just to keep it even and balanced.
Yeah, even and balanced. And so far it's worked out that the third time's been a charm. So, and at one point I ended up with my mother in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Actually, I kind of going backwards a little bit. When my husband, Tom, father of my children, went to Korea, so he was stationed in Korea for a while. So I went to live with my mother. And I haven't really had a specific career. I did work my working life, but I had lots and lots of jobs. I learned to be a dental technician there, and I was a dental technician for about 10 years. And then I worked in sales and accounting and did a lot of, actually I was a full-time temporary for an organization and worked that for about 5 years. So my dental technician and my full-time temporary job, which I was sent all over the place, were the 2 longest stints I had. So I did some sales. I worked here at Sears when Sears was still in Edgewood Water Mall, and I was getting people to for free, at the time for free, to agree to have someone take a look at how much it would cost to have their kitchens remodeled. So I would just go around giving people this little free pamphlet, say, fill this paper out and someone will come and give you an estimate. Cool. So I did that for a while, and then my daughter got sick, so I ended up retiring. And in the middle of all of that and helping to take care of her.
Tell us a bit about your spiritual path, how things began to shift for you.
Well, interestingly enough, it started when I was married to my second husband, Gary, and we'd had a failed business. We had a wild bird center store, and I don't know if there was anything like that around here. There was Wild Bird Centers and Wild Birds Unlimited were the 2 big wild bird center stores. And it's just kind of a gift store, but it had bird seed and bird things and other stuff. That business failed for us. And it was devastating. And I knew I had to get over it. I had to move on. And I didn't know exactly how to do that. And I had a friend who said, well, let's start with you just being in the silence. And he was, actually he was Jewish. And he was just a really good friend and a nice guide for the time. He said, I want you to sit both in the silence, and then also I want you to put classical music, play a CD with classical music. And it helps to calm or rearrange the neurons in your brain. So I did that, and one time I put the Pachelbel's canon in D minor in, and I had this amazing experience. It's like my head exploded, and everything was different for me. You know, I went from everything was about me to everything was about the world, and, you know, I had something to offer the world had something to offer to me. I had not been a failure, and I needed to grasp that and move on. And in the meantime, I didn't even know how to explain it. It's like and it was March, and it was snowing, and all the little snowflakes I could see, like every little snowflake, and everything just became really, really clear. And I didn't know what that was. And my ex-husband came in, and he saw me sitting on the floor, like crying, and he's like, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "I'm more than flesh and blood. There's more, there's something else in here." And he thought I was crazy. In the meantime, I found out that's something called spontaneous mystical experience. So instead of just kind of growing into that space, I was popped into it. And from there, I started seeking ways to support all of that. So I did some landmark education training. I moved out of my husband's home because he was so upset about the whole thing, and lived with a woman who went to Unity. And she said, "Why don't you come to Unity with me? You might like it." And I went to Unity, and and it was Unity of Madison, Wisconsin. And they were going through a transition, so they had a transition pastor there. But she was wonderful. And she talked about things that I just could never have believed, would be talked about in a church. Because I had grown up Lutheran, my children had grown up Methodist. It was all about Jesus and rules and and I was just kind of blown away with Unity. So I just kept coming back to Unity. It made a big difference for me and my spiritual growth. I started doing all kinds of classes with Unity and participating. And then when I met Bob, I took Bob to Unity. We got married in the Unity Church at Wimberley in Austin, not in Austin, but in Wimberley, which is like a little suburb of Austin. So that's how I got to Unity.
That's a wonderful story. I wanted you to share that. Now, we get to the place where you and Bob are in Gulfport, and you already found out that your daughter is sick. Or how did that come about, Diane?
How did that come about?
She was a chiropractor, a professional, and had a great career.
She did. She had, it was like her 10th year of being a chiropractor. She had started her own chiropractic practice in Chandler, Arizona. And she started having pain in her lower abdomen and went to a doctor who took x-rays or did some kind of imaging and saw spots on her liver, and that doctor said, I think these are, like lesions, and we need to just do a resection of your liver. So that's like take that part out, and the liver is very regenerative. So, and I was with her at the time when the doctor talked about it, and I said, how do you know it's not cancer? Oh, I know it's not cancer. I'm like, could you just make sure, can you do a needle biopsy? Can you just do something? No, he knew what it was, so they scheduled the surgery. They got my daughter into surgery, slid her from here to here, got in there, That's when they decided to do a biopsy and found out it was cancer. So he didn't take anything out. He sewed her back up, and he came out and told me, your daughter has cancer, and we don't know what kind of cancer it is. And I was alone. I did not have any friends in Chandler, Arizona. It was really, really hard. I called my Aunt Kathy and talked with her, and she was just the sweetest. She's like, oh, she's just a baby. I'm like, I know. She was 36 at the time. And fortunately, I was one of her, I don't know if I had a phone number or how I got a hold of these people, but one of her friends did kind of take me in. And then eventually, when she was in the recovery room, the doctor was supposed to tell her how bad her cancer was. It was 4-stage cancer, and he didn't have a clue what kind of cancer it was. He didn't tell her it was 4-stage cancer. He told her she had cancer, period. And it didn't seem to bother her a bit. She thought it was like the 1st-stage cancer. So she decided, instead of, figuring out maybe what kind of cancer it was, and somehow she ended up finding out it was colon cancer. I think they did a colonoscopy. And she just decided to do chemo instead of, and it had spread to her liver, hadn't gone anywhere else. And instead of doing surgery and going through all of that, she decided to go straight for chemo, which was not what I would have recommended. But she was a big girl and she could make her own decisions. And that was what was really, really hard for me, because I wanted to take over. I knew how, of course, being her mom, I knew how to take care of her. I knew what she should do to keep herself alive and going, and she didn't do it. She eventually did find out. She was in bed, like at midnight one night, reading something on the internet where she figured out she had 4-stage cancer. And it really freaked her out. She called me and crying and upset, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, because I thought the doctor was supposed to tell her just exactly what was going on, and he never did. At any rate, she just, I think at that point she just kind of gave up. She did continue with chemo treatments, and then eventually it did spread to her brain. She had a brain tumor. She did have that removed. She lived with it for 18 months. And the last couple of months, she stopped the chemo. She stopped everything. She's like, this is it, the chemo was miserable. And so the last couple months, the cancer didn't hurt. The last couple months, she lived, a fairly free and happy life.
I remember, because we were friends at the time and pretty close, and I remember you're telling me how you felt about being sort of excluded because she was making the decisions on her own. And I really related to you, empathized with you, because as a mother, I would have wanted to be included in those decisions too. And I really felt it for you, but I remember how difficult that was. And when you would, it was difficult if you were here, it was difficult if you traveled back there, because it, like you said, I remember you didn't really have a place there, so you'd need to stay with somebody. And when you look back on that time now, Diane, how do you look upon it?
I'm grateful that somehow I was able to stay with some of her friends right after I found out. we didn't get along. She had a friend who was a hospice nurse who said, that's actually, her being negative towards me was not an unusual response for a child to a mother. And interestingly enough, I'm like, okay, well, at least it's not unusual, but when's it going to stop? And it really went on with her. She was really upset and angry. She thought it was my genes. It was my fault she had cancer. She let me know. She didn't want me to have anyone.
Thank you.
She didn't
Thank
want
you, Dad.
She didn't want to take my advice. She didn't really want me to be around. And I think she felt pressure. And I guess I understand that now, is that she must have felt pressured to get better because I wanted her to.
Right.
And anyway, I was eventually called back. So I went home, and then we were living in Biloxi at the time, and a friend of hers called me and said, really, it's time for you to come. And I went, and she had friends coming to stay with her at the time because she was kind of getting more weak and more sick. This was like a couple weeks before she passed. And eventually, she ended up falling, and her friend got her into bed, and she never got out. So her friend called me and said, it's time for you to come. And when I got there, and friends and family were surrounding her, she couldn't really talk anymore, but I felt like she had forgiven me, or we had come together somehow. And then after she passed, it was a very interesting, for me anyway, experience. I guess it's a spiritual experience. We had a memorial service in Arizona where she lived, and then we were having another memorial service where she grew up in Madison, Wisconsin. And on the day that we were to take the flight out to Madison, Wisconsin, I woke up in the morning and I had a dream about Brianne, and it was like the most vivid dream ever. I was dreaming that I was kind of walking around a group of buildings, and all of a sudden around the corner came Brianne, and I could see her hair, I could see what dress she was wearing. She had a handful of notebooks or papers or something, and I ran into her and I said, oh my God, Brianne, I thought you had passed away. And she said, well, it's a long story.
It's a long story.
Which was really kind of like her. And then I said, well, let's go talk about this. And I grabbed her by the arms, and I could feel her arms, and we just kind of moved over. And I said, Brianne, we are having a memorial service for you in Madison like a couple days from now. And she's, I know. And then I woke up.
Okay. Do you have more of a sense of it was meant to be in now when you're looking back on it? Do you have a sense of maybe this was the time before she came and was born that she knew she'd be passing away, or how do you feel about that,
Oh,
Diane?
no, I don't think she knew she'd be passing away at all. She was pissed about it until the end. She had a lot of life to live. She had started her own business. She had taken up acupuncture and other things. She had a boyfriend, and she wanted life. And no, I don't think she ever had that thought or experience.
March of which year?
March of 2013, March 3rd, 2013.
2013.
And
I know that was extremely difficult for you and all the years since, but I know that you have a lot of joy now with your son has a son, is that right?
He does. My grandson is 9 years old now. He is autistic, he is savant, and he's fun and funny. When he was little, you could tell there was something going on, and I'm thinking to myself, I think this is autistic. And he was at the point where he wasn't, meeting developmental marks. And I remember my son saying, I wish he just knew his name. I wish he just knew his name. And when he was, so they did take him to a doctor, and the doctor said, well, yeah, basically somehow they figure out that they're autistic. And at 3 years old, he started school, like a special school for autistic kids. And so which really made a big difference. He's social, he's smart, and fun and funny. He can still melt down. In fact, he was at our house one day, and he wanted my dog Zoe to play with him, and he loved watching her play. She doesn't play very often with toys or anything, but he wanted her to play before he left. I'm like, I can't get her to play. And he stood in the hallway and he's crying, but what if she doesn't play before I leave? And he's like, and I'm like, Owen, are you having a meltdown? And he kind of stopped for a minute and looked at me like, what? And then he continued to melt down. So, interestingly enough, the dog did pick up the toy and play before he left. So I don't know if that was his way of manifesting something.
Yeah. And you also, this little guy.
Oh, it's Scooter. This is Scott. So after my daughter passed, after my mom passed, Bob decided he wanted a dog. And I said, and he wanted it to be a rescue dog. And I said, okay, that's fine with me as long as it's a little dog that doesn't shed. And I'm thinking, I really don't want to have to take care of a dog. And we'll never find a rescue like that because those are expensive dogs. You have to buy them. It wasn't more than about 2 months later, a friend of ours who's a foster parent for dogs called and said, I have this little dog, I think it's a Shih Tzu Poodle mix. It's a little dog that doesn't shed. And so we said, well, okay, bring him over. Let's take a look at him. Well, not quite. I think I said, can you bring him over tomorrow? She's like, no, you have to see him today. I have to find a home for him today. So she came. It was about 9 o'clock at night, and brought this little guy over, and we fell in love with him, and he's a funny little boy. And yes, we did keep him, and he's now a therapy dog. And then we adopted his little sister, his little big sister, because she's older, Zoe, and she's a Bichon Frise. And they're both therapy dogs. So although I didn't really have a career or a career path during my working years, I guess you could call therapy dog handler an avocation. So we visit hospitals and nursing homes and behavioral health and libraries and schools and sometimes churches. And it just brings me joy to know that my dogs are bringing joy to all these people who some people don't like dogs. You have to ask them, do you like dogs? No, you have to stay away. But people who love dogs are so grateful to see dogs, coming in. And they do kind of have a healing effect. It's like all of a sudden you forget what your problems are.
You're being comforted by
being
these.
comforted by them, yeah. So,
Wow.
And we have fun with the dogs at behavioral health with the children and the adolescents. We do tricks, and then the kids build tunnels, and
Well,
and bridges and with their bodies, and the dogs jump over and go through them, and they, and then they do dancing twirls, and they jump over the kids. It's fun. So anyway,
they have brought a lot of joy to your life.
That's right. So
A lot of peace and joy. And is there any little piece of advice that you would give people that are going through tremendous loss? Anything that you could say it'll get better?
I would say you definitely need to find a support group. So even in Phoenix, I found there was no such thing as a caregiver's support group. I found a cancer support group, and I joined that. And there were actually a couple, I was one, and there were a couple of other caregivers that had joined the group. Made a big, big difference.
Okay.
To be able to talk to people who had cancer and people who were taking care of them, so that I didn't feel so alone.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Diane. We appreciate everything you've shared with us today. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you for being my friend.
You're welcome. Oh, and one thing I did want to tell you I've noticed.
What?
Is that your eyes, when you're smiling, your eyes are so happy. They look like my little dog Zoe's eyes.
Aww. Now there's a compliment.
When Bob is rubbing her tummy, her eyes get that kind of moon shape, like it's joy and peace.
Wow.
And yeah, you remind me.
I am glad to hear that, and Bob hasn't even been rubbing my tummy. I mean, this is amazing. Thank you, Diane. That was a compliment. I thank you very much. I wanted you to hear her story, and it's pretty impressive too, isn't it?
Thank you, Diane. That was beautiful for sharing your story with us. That was wonderful. That's an interesting side note. When I looked at Judy's eyes, I saw exactly what you saw. And this was last week, but I don't have a puppy, so I don't know. That's just Judy. But thank you so much. That was wonderful to listen to your story and share all of that, all those words of wisdom. So now it's our time to give expression to our appreciation for all that is offered here at Unity of Gulfport. Please take your offering in your hands and say along with me, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give in love, and I trust in God. Thank you.
The right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm at the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm at the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm at the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Ooh.
was beautiful. Thank you. All of the music, even that I asked you to repeat. I apologize for that, but you did a great job. We're so blessed to be here this morning and to have so many wonderful, loving people that chose to spend their morning with us. We're grateful for all the love, the joy, the expressions of truth, honesty, and kindness this morning that have been shared. We just ask that these tithes be blessed and used for the absolute highest good. Amen. Okay, we are going to bless the youth. We have a great group of youth, don't we? Come on down. Come on down, girls. I like that. Is that a beret? I saw that earlier. I wish I had a beret. Yeah, pink. One more coming. Come on, sweetheart. Come on. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. We behold the Christ in you, empowering you to do great things. So it is.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be thy joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.